tree, white and pink and lazy as can be. But I'd be king just in the spring, so now I think it over. Gee, I'm glad I'm no one else but me. If you sit around and find the world is gloomy, and it isn't just your cup of tea, it's easy to imagine that it's rose and bloomy. You can think the things you want to be. So when all is said and done, imagining's a lot of fun. But when there are battles to be won, be what you are, it's best by far, and soon you'll be in clover. Gee, I'm glad I'm no one else but me.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephen, the Dancing Baker Canada. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. So, I was at a bit of a loss as to what to do with today's video. I was talking to my friend Phyllis about it. You know, the lady who lent me the apron for my Christmas video, and she also introduced me to the chocolate that I did but totally elevated for my Valentine's video. Huh. Phyllis is factoring into my videos a lot lately. What's that about? So, she went on to tell me that peanut butter pie is actually a pretty big deal here in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, where I live. In fact, we have a community Facebook page here, and there's this whole thread about peanut butter pie, about what restaurants serve the best peanut butter pie, and who makes the best peanut butter pie, and what makes the best peanut butter pie. I thought I need to get in on this peanut butter pie action. So, that's what we're going to make today. We are going to make peanut butter pie. But I tell you what, I just got in from walking the dogs, so I'm going to get ready, and then we can start right away. Okay, this will work. Okay, so let's get started. But before we do, if you want to see more videos of baking, singing, dancing, Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, maybe a bit of comedy thrown in, heck, I'll even talk about my friend Phyllis. Hit that subscribe button now. Okay, so I'm going to start with the crust. Now I'm going to take this whole package of Oreos and I'm just going to dump them all into the food processor here. Now that's 27 Oreos, so you don't even have to measure. There we are. Get rid of that. Snap this on and good, let's check that out. You want it to a fine crumb. Now you could buy the Oreos that are already in the bag, already ready to make pie crust, but I prefer this way, and you don't have to take out the centers. Let's see how we're doing now. Yeah, that looks good. You always want to just double check to make sure that everything is mixed fully through. Okay, so I take my bowl, take this off here, there we go, and I just dump all of that into the bowl like that. We'll get rid of that. This over here. Next, I take 6 tablespoons of butter that I've melted already. Now, I like to use salted butter because I find that it helps cut the sweetness just a little bit. But there's no rule with that. You could use salted or unsalted, but I find as a general rule, salt really helps enhance any kind of a chocolate flavor. So you just mix that butter all the way through the crumb there. Nice. Here, let's have a look. Check that out. Just a little bit more. There, that looks about good actually. Now, I'm going to take my pie plate, my 9-inch pie plate, and I'm just going to dump all of that in here. There we go. And you can start to shape it and press it down with your spatula. Now, I like to get in there with my hands as well. I just find for this that it's easier to form. You can also use the bottom of a glass, anything that's flat, but because this has to come up on the edge, I'm gonna get in there with my fingers, and don't worry, I totally washed my hands. Okay, that looks about good. Here, check it out. So, all I have to do is put this in the fridge for about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then I'll see you for the next step. Okay, let's get started on this filling. So, I start with 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream. I'm just gonna dump all that in there. There we go. Good. Lock it in, and we just whip it to nice stiff peaks. Just a minute or so. Okay, that looks about good. Let's check it out there. Get rid of this. There. Now that is going to go right into the fridge. Okay, so next, I'm going to take cream cheese. This is pretty much a whole block of cream cheese. The thing is, if you look at most recipes, they say an 8-ounce block. But in Canada, because we use metric, our blocks of cream cheese are a little bit bigger, so I just cut a little bit off, but I've also done it where I've thrown the whole block of cream cheese in there, and it's totally fine. 1.5 cups of peanut butter, and here's the thing, use a good peanut butter. I'm using Jif today, and oftentimes I like to use all natural peanut butter, but for this recipe, that would have far too much oil. This is a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just gonna throw that in. This time I'm using my paddle attachment. Just gonna attach that there. Let's see, where are we? Good. Shut it down. Now the cream cheese, I also softened overnight on my counter. Good, that looks about good. Great, lift that up. And we're going to add some icing sugar. Now, I went the extra mile and I actually sifted the icing sugar. I just find that it mixes a bit better that way. And that's 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar. And turn it on. I always start off slowly because oftentimes I've started off fast and the icing sugar's gone everywhere. And then I just speed it up. Good, that looks about good actually. I'm just gonna lift it up, see how we're doing there. That's about the consistency that you want, and you can just push it down with your spatula. Next, I'm gonna go grab that whipped cream and I'm gonna fold it in to this mixture. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna take that whipped cream and I'm just going to put it all in here. There we go. I'm just going to fold it through the mixture. You want to mix this really well, and it will turn a lovely, lovely kind of caramel mocha color there. And you are going to have to put just a little bit of muscle into it, so I'm just going to take it here. Okay, so that looks about good. Here, check this out. What a beautiful color that is. Okay, so now it's as simple as this. We take our pie crust and we just take the filling and we scoop it all in there. Nice, there we go. Good. You want to just get all that you can and you just smooth it out over the top, getting around to all the edges here. Good, and you want to see if you can make it relatively even. Here, check it out. Good. Now, I'm going to set that in the fridge for a while. We're going to go over to the stove and we're going to start making a ganache for the top. Hey everyone, so here we are at the stove. Now, in here is 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream or whipped cream. Now, I'm just going to light the stove here. And I'm turning the heat to a medium-high heat, and I'm just going to keep whisking around until it comes to a nice simmer to a nice light boil. Okay, that looks about good. Okay, now I've already chopped up my 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, and I'm just going to pour the cream right over top. There we go. And I'm going to cover it with a plate, and I'm going to let that sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's go back to the counter. Okay, so we're back. Now, take the plate off. We'll just set that aside, and we're going to start stirring the ganache. And you want to start it from the center, doing it ever so slowly. And you want to make sure that all the chocolate melts down. This is why we chop it up a little bit finer. Now, at this stage, I'm also going to take a good kind of pinch of sea salt, okay? Sea salt just really helps bring out the flavor. And I'm going to continue mixing that through. Good. And one thing you're going to notice is it's going to start thickening up as it starts to cool, which for our purposes is actually better, right? Good. That looks pretty much perfect. Okay, let me just get rid of this. Boom! There we go. Now, I'm going to take the pie that's been chilling in the fridge as I make the ganache, obviously, and I'm just going to pour the ganache over the top slowly. Here, I'll do it from this angle. This is a perfect kind of receptacle for this because it actually has a little bit of a pouring spout. There we go. And then I'm going to take my offset spatula and I'm just going to smooth it out. Now, I'll never forget the very first time I had a peanut butter pie. It was at the Calgary Stampede. And I don't know if you've ever been to the Stampede, but it's one of the biggest rodeos in North America, and the whole city gets involved. And I was at this restaurant with friends, and I saw that they had it on the menu. So I said to the waitress, I said, I'd love for you to bring me some of that. And she said, okay, well, I'm a bit busy, but I'm gonna send the busboy over. So about 2.5 minutes later, this tall, strapping cowboy comes to my table with this luscious looking dessert. And as he starts to lower it, I look up and I'm all like,
why'd you come in here looking like that? In your high-heeled boots and your painted on jeans, all decked out like a cowgirl's dream. Why'd you come in here looking like that? Here comes my baby, dragging my heart behind. He's driving me crazy. He says love was blind. He's got a wandering eye and a troubling mind, big ideas and a little behind. Out with a different woman every night, but I remember when he was mine. Why'd you come in here looking like that? In your high-heeled boots and your painted on jeans, all decked out like a cowgirl's dream. Why'd you come in here looking like that? Why'd you come in here looking like that? When you could stop traffic in a gunny sack, while you're almost giving me a heart attack. When you waltz right in here looking like that, I just can't stand.
okay, now to be clear, you know I was talking about the pie, right? Okay, so one last little thing. I'm gonna take some crushed peanuts. Now you can buy them like this, or you can crush them yourself just by putting them in a baggie and rolling them with a rolling pin. But I just sprinkle them on top. Good. So you're gonna wanna let this set in the fridge for about 4.5 to 5 hours. So go do something. Go to the gym, get your housework done, have a glass of wine, maybe a coffee, and I'll see you in a few hours. Hey everyone, check this out. Boom! That is gorgeous. Look at that, a luscious peanut butter pie with an Oreo crust and a chocolate ganache garnished with a little bit of peanuts. So simple and so delicious. I totally need to try this. Yum! Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my channel. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and maybe share with your friends. And leave me a comment in the comment section below. And give me a big thumbs up by hitting that like button. You can also follow me on Instagram at The Dancing Baker Canada. So, I'm just gonna leave you here with this. Whack! Boom! Ha! See you next time!
But I'd be king just in the spring, so now I think